Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the 20th broadcast at Becker's Virtual Tasting for our 2016 Fleur Sauvage. I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. We certainly enjoyed doing it. Brett, Doc, and I very much always enjoy talking about the wines. So we're glad that you could join us. And for tonight's Q&A, I actually have several questions, so quite a few to get into. So just going to jump into it. I hope this helps everyone. But remember, at the end of the day, you don't need to know much. All you need to know is whether you like it or not, and whether you'll have a second glass. So cheers to everyone. So the first question comes from Mr. Nelson, otherwise known as AKA as Rebecca's dad. So why do you make sweet wine? That's a great question, sir. The reason we make sweet wine is because there are people who enjoy sweet wine. And if we're nothing, we just like to serve our community. So, how's that for a great answer? We make sweet wine because we actually enjoy sweet wine. Long history of sweet, semi-sweet wines in our industry. The other reason, honestly, is because sweet wines, people want them, you can make them, you can sell them. So we make it because we enjoy it. And secondly, we make it because you guys enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy the sweet wines. Second question here we have, is this wine barrel or tank aged? I went into it briefly during the broadcast, but this is actually all tank aged. So our Fleur Sauvage is made from captured wine. Simply put, when we get a grape in like the Viognier, we press that grape, we put it into a tank to settle prior to fermentation. We racked that clarified juice off. The lees that are left behind are almost 60 to 70% captured juice. We filter those lees, and that captured juice we ferment separately, and that's where the bulk of this comes from. So it is a captured wine. It's simply a term that we use in the winery. It's not used anywhere else. But this is all tank aged, and then we bottle it about 9 months after fermentation. So our next question is, what is the residual? The residual sugar is 40 grams per liter, or as I explained earlier, 40 grams per liter equals 4% residual sugar. To give you a great idea, a soda or a pop or a Coke, depending on what part of the country you come from, is about 12 to 15% residual. We're 4%. So it is not actually a semi-dry, it is a fully sweet wine, but it's on the lower end of the sweet scale. All right, our next question is, Semillon really can bring out the sweet. What is the percentage? The Semillon is actually only 3% of this blend, Steve. Very nice balance, semi-dry. I'm gonna argue with you on the semi-dry. No, it's not extraordinarily sweet, but it actually, definition-wise, is more than semi-dry. Anything over 1.5% is no longer considered semi-dry, though I kind of have to agree with you. At 4%, it's not overly sweet. Next question, what temperature is best for this wine? Well, Trish, the temperature that's best for this wine is the temperature that you like to drink it at. Personally, I love this wine almost icebox cold, but I drink a lot of it during the summer. We may drink a glass or two of this around the pool or out on the porch, and Texas summers can be less than cool, so you want a little cool drink. So the other thing that you want to consider too, if you're worried about the temperature, we carry these wonderful corksicles. They're just basically insulated bottles. They hold a full bottle of wine. We keep this one empty in the freezer until we want to use it. And if the wine is room temperature, pour it in there. It'll chill it down to perfect temp. If it's already chilled, pour it in there. It'll hold that temperature in the hot Texas sun for about 4 to 5 hours. So it's a great little thing. Anyway, our last question for the evening is, what would you pair this wine with? And we do talk about that at the end of the broadcast every night, and we were all picking things like cheesecake or Asian food. Quite frankly, a sweet wine loves spice. If you have anything that's mildly spicy, like let's say Tex-Mex, a little Caspian in there, a little habanero, a little jalapeno, it'll go well. If you have something that's a lot more spicy, like a really good spicy curry, or as I chose earlier, a Szechuan pepper pot, where it's very spicy and very aromatic, this wine will do very well with that. Otherwise, pair it with your best friend, sit outside and have a great conversation. I hope you all enjoy. Thanks again for joining us. Cheers.